Hello there, Richie Vitale here. This is a bit of an advanced lesson, but even if it's above your pay grade, it's an interesting tutorial. I used to wonder, what are these cats playing? Jazz improvisation is in constant flux and sometimes amorphic in its behavior. And even at this stage in my career, I am striving to make sense of it all. Let's take a look at the solo. The first 4 bars of letter A is a cycle of fifths. This cycle of fifths starts a raised fifth above the key that we are in, that being G sharp 7 in the key of C for B flat instruments. So the cycle here is G sharp 7 to C sharp 7, then to F sharp 7 to B7, then E7 to A7, but then to get back to the key of C, I play D minor 7 to G7. The 5th through the 8th bar are normal rhythm changes in the key of C. This is similar to the rhythm changes exercise on page 79 in my yellow book, Modern Patterns and Warm-Ups for Jazz, Part 2. The cycle over the first 4 bars of letter B are C sharp 7 to F sharp 7, then B7 to E7, and then A7 to D7, and then again D minor 7 to G7. As I said earlier, this is a more traditional set of chord changes that is used over the cycle of fifths over the first 4 bars of rhythm changes. Once again, the 5th through the 8th bar are normal rhythm changes in the key of C. You can find both of these patterns in my book entitled Modern Patterns and Warm-Ups for Jazz, Part 2, on pages 75 to 79. Letter D is particularly interesting because it starts on a chord change in the key we are in, that being the key of C, and then the next chord change is a tritone away, that being F sharp 7, and from then on the cycle of fifths progresses just as it does in letter B. So the only difference in the chord changes in the first 4 bars of letter B and D is letter B starts on a C sharp 7 chord and letter D starts on a C chord. Just for fun, at letter F you can hear how dissonant the cycle of fifths can sound if the person comping behind you is playing normal rhythm changes at the same time you are using the changes for the cycle of fifths. That's why most experienced jazz players will play a chorus or 2 of normal rhythm changes and then will start with the cycle of fifths. If you are playing with a sophisticated rhythm section, they will usually pick up on what you are doing. Again, just to make things interesting, at letter G, I continue the cycle of fifths all the way through the 8 bars to see what I could get away with. And then at letter H, I am actually playing a B7 to E7, then A7 to D7, and then resolving with the D minor 7 to G7 to a C7. So I am skipping the C#7 to F#7, normally at the beginning of this cycle of fifths, and starting the cycle on B7. The timing has to work when you do this sort of thing, and a lot of it is just your ability to hear and make the notes work for you. In a way, this doesn't make sense because I'm playing the notes to a B7 over the chord C#7 on bar 61 at letter H, and the notes to an A7 over the chord to a B7 on bar 62. But it will definitely work if you understand what you're doing and you play convincingly. I'm essentially one bar ahead of the chord changes with the notes that I am playing. As a bonus, at letters I, J, and K, I show the way I play over the last 4 bars of rhythm changes. In example I am starting of the root of the key that the rhythm changes are in that case in the key of C. In example J, I am starting on the 3rd of the key we are in, that being the note E. And in the case of example K, I am starting on the 5th of the key we are in, that being the note G. So you see, only the first bars of I, J, and K are different in these 3 examples. Well, I hope you enjoyed my tutorial on altered rhythm changes. I'm a self-taught musician, and even though I didn't go to college, I've taught in college. All of the information you see in my videos I've pretty much learned by reading, asking questions, sitting at the piano, and I was lucky enough to go to some arranging classes with BMI. But mainly, I learned by doing. For this lesson in particular, I sat at the piano and figured out how the chords work. I am an ear player, just like many of you. If you also play by ear, and that is your thing, and you are happy with it, continue to do so. I just reached a point in my career where the lines I was hearing made it necessary for me to learn what the theory was. I'd like to make a special pitch for the books that I sell. I have several books that cover the material in my videos, and I will leave links down below that explain each book and how to purchase them. When you purchase my books or CDs, it helps me make more videos like this, so I do thank you. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to ask in the comments section below. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel for updates on my newest jazz video lessons. I've also started a Patreon page to help defray the cost of making these videos, where I include PDFs of these lessons and insider tips. Please feel free to go to patreon.com/Richie Vitale and help join in this jazz journey. Thank you for watching and happy practicing.